Let me sit my stupid ass down. Bro.
Step-ups can feel extremely difficult, but they can also be one of the best exercises out there to target in on your glutes. Now, let's go over some of the key fundamentals you need to understand to bias the glutes and provide yourself with more stability to make it as effective as possible. Number one, if you're using a bench that has a very soft pad on it with a lot of cushion, that's going to end up creating a lot of instability in that ankle joint to push yourself up, you might want to consider putting a plate down. My bench doesn't have much padding, so it's not something that I have to worry about. Number two, just like the girl showed in the video, it's a really good idea to make sure that your opposing hand is holding on to something so that you're not just trying to balance your way through the step up. Having something to hang on to is great for that added balance so that you can focus on just pushing up through the heel. In that hand that's not holding on anything, that's where you'll hold on to the weight. So when you get to this position here, what we want to think is creating as big of an angle at our hip joint as possible throughout the movement if we want to bias the glutes. So that would look something like this. As you drop to that bottom position, you're thinking of pushing your hips back while allowing your chest to fall towards the floor to get into this bottom position, because this is where we're going to have a really big angle at our hip joint to put that tension on the glutes, with more minimal of an angle at our knee joint to not put as much tension into the quads. So as you come to that bottom position, think of driving those hips back while allowing your chest to fall, while keeping a mostly neutral spine. And from this position, we're not thinking of coming all the way back onto this back heel. You're just thinking of coming down and touching with your toes at the bottom and then driving back up through this heel that's on the bench to bring yourself to that top position by thinking of driving your hips forward to come to that top position to keep that tension into the glutes. So we're not thinking come down, follow the bottom, stand upright, and push back up through that back foot. You're thinking drive the hips back, allow the chest to fall. Once that back foot's toes touches the ground, that's when we drive back up through our heel while driving our hip forward to keep the majority of that tension on the glutes throughout the exercise.